Okay, let me share my screen. So hope it is visible for everyone.
Yes, I think.
Yes, yes, yes.
Great. Okay, so guys, as you know, my name is Sahitya and I'm gonna be your trainer for MCSA, right? Where we are going to learn about server and whatever the features are available in servers, we are going to install, or we are going to get the real time exposure on all the features that are available on the servers, right? So before we start, first of all, let me give you a brief introduction of myself. I used to work as a cloud engineer in a multinational organization, and I am a MCSA certified, Azure 104 certified, and a CCNA certified. And I do have around 6.5 years of experience in the industry-based experience. And from last 2.5 years, I am working. I'm teaching. I'm working as an instructor where I used to teach this MCSA and even for Office 365 and SCCM, right? Then MCSA, that is Microsoft Certified Solution Associate. So first of all, we do not have any certification for this course. We do not have any certification like Azure 104. Earlier we used to have MCSA certificate, but it was discontinued last year, right? And we will not be able to get the certificate, right? But if you need to work on cloud, if you want to work on AWS or maybe on Azure, so you must have the basic understanding. You must have the working experience of servers, right? Then only you will be able to opt the cloud technology. So why we are doing MCSA? This is all to get the real time exposure, because see, this module is totally based on lab, right? We are not going to do any theoretical things, but time to time I will provide you the PPTs and whatever the PDFs I do have with me, I will provide you that also, right? But this module is 90% we are going to do it practically, right? So we do have uh, VMware and then Hyper-V, where we are going to install our virtual machines, right? And then over there we will install the features like your Active Directory and then your DNS server and then your WDS, WSUS, and others, many more. Okay. So why we are going to learn MCSA? This is all because to see, अभी नहीं करेंगे तो आने वाले टाइम में हमें क्लाउड तो ऑप्ट करना ही है, राइट? बिकॉज एज यू नो, सभी कंपनीज क्लाउड पे मूव कर रही हैं ऑन प्रेम टू, तो वो क्या कर रहे हैं, अपना पूरा सेटअप दैट इज अवेलेबल ऑन ऑन प्रेम, राइट? सो ऑन प्रेम सेटअप को माइग्रेट कर रहे हैं कहाँ पर, क्लाउड पे, ठीक है? तो ऑन प्रेम सेटअप में तो सब कुछ इंस्टॉल्ड होगा, WDS भी होगा एंड देन आपका एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी भी इंस्टॉल्ड होगी, आपका DNS भी इंस्टॉल्ड होगा, राइट? तो वो वर्किंग जो जितना आपका सारा इंस्टॉलेशन है जो ऑलरेडी आपके ऑन प्रेम डेटा सेंटर में पड़ा है, right? So that configuration can be migrated to cloud. That is called lift and shift. जो already आपके data center में configuration है, so the same configuration can be migrated to cloud, can be configured onto the cloud, right? अब cloud पे वो same configuration अगर move होगा, तो cloud पे भी तो हमें वही same जो हम on prem पे काम कर रहे थे, same काम हमें अब cloud पे भी करना है. सेम जो हम अपने एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी के यूजर्स अपने ऑन प्रेम डेटा सेंटर में बना रहे थे, वही हमें अब सेम क्लाउड पे बनाना है, राइट? सो माय पॉइंट इज सर्टिफिकेशन डिसकंटिन्यूड है, बट स्टिल द नॉलेज स्टिल रिमेन्स द सेम. नॉलेज अभी भी हमें चाहिए, सो दैट वी विल बी एबल टू वर्क ऑन क्लाउड, बिकॉज एज अ सिस्टम एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर हमें अब नहीं तो आज से 2 साल बाद क्लाउड पे काम करना ही है, राइट? सो पहले MCSA के 3 एग्जाम्स होते थे, so after completing that exams we used to get the MCSA certification. ठीक है, so that exams are basically 740, 742 and 741, right? So when I was in my previous organization, I got my certification over there. तो अब वो सर्टिफिकेशन क्या है, दैट देयर इज, पहले क्या होता था, वैलिडिटी होता था सर्टिफिकेशन का, दैट द सर्टिफिकेशन इज वैलिड फॉर 3 years ओनली, राइट? आप एज्योर भी करोगे, आप AWS भी करोगे, तो उसका भी एक वैलिडिटी है, राइट? तो उसे जितना भी वैलिडिटी होगा, आपको दोबारा उसको रीन्यू करना होगा, यू हैव टू गिव द एग्जाम अगेन सो दैट यू विल बी सर्टिफाइड, राइट? So in 742 we will going to install the Active Directory. ADDS, we are used to configure the domain controllers. The types of domain controllers are basically primary, and then your secondary, additional, and read only. So these are 4 types of domain controllers that every organization can, they might be having these 4 types of domain controllers. अगर ये 4 नहीं है, तो at least उनके पास 3 तो जरूर होंगे. That is primary, secondary, and child domain controller, CDC. Right? And for each topic, I do have the PPTs available with me. Over there, you will get the brief introduction about the topic. And if you want to get deep dive into the topic, for that, I will provide you a PDF of complete MCSA module, right? Over there, you will get the concept if you want to, get deep dive knowledge of the topic, right? Then Active Directory configuring zones. DNS also we are going to configure. What is DNS? That is domain naming system, right? And then what are the zones? What are the zones can be configured onto your DNS servers? What are the type of trust, right? Global catalog, AD infrastructure, then configuring zone transparent application. If you want to transfer any zone, right? That can also be done through one server to another. See, migration भी एक बड़ा topic है, right? So let's suppose you are working on a 2012 server and your management decides they want to upgrade their servers. ठीक है, तो 2012 पे काम कर रहे हो, अब आपको 2019 पे अपग्रेड करना है. So the same thing can be done in the on-prem data center also, right? So without any downtime, you will be able to migrate your features, you will be able to migrate your domain controller to 2012 to 2019, राइट? ये भी जब आप एक इंटरव्यू के लिए जाते हो, ये भी एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का, there is a requirement कि whether you have a knowledge of migrations of or upgradations, right? And to be very honest, why I got late, because I was having an interview, right? And over there they asked me whether you have a real time experience on the migrations. Backup, that how to you know take the backups and how to initiate that backups on other servers. So these are the requirements. Even time to time I will let you know what are the interview questions can be asked if you are going for an interview, right? I can give you my real time experience, what I faced so far, right? Then your operation master, that is FSMO. If you have heard about FSMO, that is flexible single master operation. ठीक है, तो जब भी एक डोमेन कंट्रोलर हम कॉन्फ़िगर करते हैं, तो ये FSMO रोल्स वहां पर इंस्टॉल होते हैं, राइट? तो अपग्रेडेशन कैसे होता है? जो 20, लेट्स सपोज यू हैव अ 2012 प्राइमरी डोमेन कंट्रोलर, right? And your management decides to make a primary domain controller on 2019 server. तो माइग्रेशन कैसे होगा? वही जो FSMO रोल्स होंगे, वी हैव टू माइग्रेट दैट FSMO रोल्स टू 2019 सर्वर, right? Then ADFS, see, this is read only domain controller, right? And then maintaining your AD objects, users, computers, and then group policies, right? Configure account policies. अब organizations में आपने देखा होगा, if you are working in in any organization, right? Over there you used to get a email कि इतने दिन के बाद your account is going to expire, your password is going to expire, sorry, not account, right? तो क्या होता है, बाय डिफॉल्ट एक पॉलिसी आपके यूजर्स पे वो अप्लाई हो जाती है, दैट द पासवर्ड टाइमिंग विल बी फॉर 42 डेज, बाय डिफॉल्ट 42 डेज के लिए आपका जो पासवर्ड का एक्सपायरी है वो सेट हो जाती है, ये किसी भी अकाउंट के लिए, राइट? लेटर ऑन यू कैन एक्सपैंड और यू कैन डिक्रीज द टाइम पीरियड, राइट? बट बाय डिफॉल्ट इट इज फॉर 42 डेज. सो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में क्या होता है, जैसे ही 30 डेज होते हैं तो 31 डेज के बाद 31th पे या फिर 32nd डे पे हमारे पास ईमेल आना शुरू हो जाता है दैट योर पासवर्ड इज गोइंग टू एक्सपायर, यू हैव टू चेंज इट, राइट? सो दैट इज ऑल बिकॉज ऑफ दिस अकाउंट पॉलिसीज. एक पासवर्ड हमने ऑलरेडी सेट किया हुआ है, राइट? लेट्स सपोज मैंने अपने अकाउंट के लिए पासवर्ड सेट किया abcd@1234, एंड लेटर ऑन मैं दोबारा वही पासवर्ड अगर रीसेट करना चाह रहा हूँ, आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू. आपने कहीं अपने एप्लीकेशंस में या फिर बैंकिंग एप्लीकेशंस में देखा होगा, अपने नेट बैंकिंग में, कि जो पासवर्ड ऑलरेडी यूज्ड है, दैट पासवर्ड कैन नॉट बी यूज्ड, राइट? तो वो चीज भी आप कैसे करते हो, अपनी ग्रुप पॉलिसी, अकाउंट पॉलिसी से सेट करते हो. पासवर्ड लेंथ, राइट? आप एक 8 डिजिट का पासवर्ड रखते हो तो आपको एक एरर आता है, द पासवर्ड शुड बी ऑफ 12 और 15 डिजिट्स. दैट कैन आल्सो बी कॉन्फ़िगर्ड बाय अकाउंट पॉलिसीज. ओके guys, if you have any query you can just unmute yourself, and you can ask straight away, right? Then backup and recovery, maintenance and monitor AD. If you want to monitor your AD, then we do have some monitoring tool available, so that tools can be configured and you will be able to manage your monitor your Active Directory. Then ADCS, Active Directory Certificate Services, right? Certificates are basically अब आप कोई भी website access करते हो, like so let's suppose I am going to access this one, live.networkings.com, right? And if I'm going to connect, so see, you can see connection is secure. Why this connection is secured? This is all because of the certificate. See, connection is secure, and this is all because of this certificate. So this certificate is provided to Networkings by Amazon. You can see issued by, right? So why this website or why this connection is basically secured? This is all because of this certificate. And this certificate secure कैसे होता है? This is all because of these algorithm, right? So you can see this HTTPS. What S is stands for? That is secure. That means if I am accessing this website और मैं यहाँ पर अगर कुछ भी access कर रहा हूँ, so my connection is totally secured. And second, जो भी मैं यहाँ पर access करूँगा, whatever I'm going to click here, that will be traveled over the internet, not in the plain text, right? अगर HTTP होगा तो मेरी request जो भी जाएगी नेटवर्क के थ्रू, वो प्लेन टेक्स्ट में जाएगी. हैकर विल बी एबल टू चेक, मैं कुछ भी एक्सेस कर रहा हूँ, ही विल बी एबल टू चेक, ही विल बी एबल टू गेट, But if I'm accessing it with HTTPS, then in that case, my request is traveling into the encrypted form. And this encryption is basically taking place by algorithm, these algorithm. So this is the part of cybersecurity, right? But you should be aware of that how our connection is getting secured to any of the website, right? So for this, we are going to configure ADCS. हम खुद के एक certification authority बनेंगे, and then we will apply the certificates to our own websites, to our own connections, whatever the RDP connections we are making, right? So for these all RDP connections and these web connections, we have to configure the certificate services, right? Then this network part, which includes basically your DACP, your IPAM service, right? DNS zones, DNS codes, DNS replication, network policy, VPN, firewall settings. So Windows server has its own internal firewalls. So over there also we will be able to configure it, but it is not recommended because see, we do have in an organization we do have the hardware firewall, right? So it is not as much required, but yes, I will let you know how to set up your own rules in the Windows internal firewall, right? Then file servers. This is also the major part. It includes, this is file server, it includes uh, failover cluster with file server as well. Now what failover cluster is? This is basically to make high availability of your file servers to the clients. ठीक है, तो फाइल सर्वर तो हम कॉन्फ़िगर करेंगे, उसके साथ में वी विल कॉन्फ़िगर फेल ओवर क्लस्टर एज वेल. Then DFS, shadow copies, backup and restore, disk quota, and monitoring and print services. Then WSUS. This is also a major topic where we used to do patch management, right? To make our whole infrastructure secure, we have to do the patch management, patching, right? तो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट क्या करता है, हर सेकेंड मंथ के सेकेंड ट्यूसडे को पैच रिलीज करता है. Patch are basically to secure your environment so that will not be vulnerable. मतलब others, आपके hackers will not be able to hack your environment, right? So you guys heard about this one, एम्स के सर्वर्स को हैक कर लिया था हैकर्स ने, right? So this is all because they have not updated their servers, they haven't did their patch management, right? Then event logs, how to get the event logs and how to troubleshoot with the help of event logs, I will let you know. Then deploy servers. See, we are going to use VMware or Hyper-V to set up our labs, right? Because we do not have servers available with us. So how you guys will be able to configure your labs so that you can do it with the help of Hyper-V, or if you want to use VMware, that also with the option. I will let you know after this. I will let you know how to configure or how to install these tools. I will help you out over there. So just wait for a while. Then web services. How to make a web server. Websites host कैसे होती है, right? Then we will configure FTP, SSL security, this is secure security layer, right? So this all can be then this all can be done with the help of your certification services only, right? So these are the job opportunities after you are, if you are well aware of the concepts, right? If you're well aware about the configuration, so these all job roles you can get, right? Acha, it includes RAID as well. See, I let me show you one Excel file. Over there, I used to manage all the topics that are being taught in this module, right? So this one is the file. See, we do have around 45 topics in this whole module, right? Maybe अगर उसमें से कुछ miss हुआ है, so everything is here. Introduction to MCSA and VMs, then types of DCs, primary domain controller, additional domain, CDC, and then RODC, then Active Directory, then domain and OU delegation, RSET tool, group policy, AD administrative center, then DHCP failover, DHCP relay agent, and then FTP and web server, then network load balancing cluster, and then profile and folder redirection, types of trust, NAT, file and print management, VPN with NPS, VPN with radius server, remote desktop services, data deduplication, BitLocker, FSRM, then storage, FSMO roles, shadow copies, DFS, replication and namespace, WSUS, FSMO roles, seize and transfer, migration or upgradation, ADFS, backup, WDS and sysprep, RAID configuration, nano server, AD sites and services, IFM, IPAM, failover in file server, then DNS, 4S and domain function level, Active Directory certificate services, NIC teaming, and last one is PowerShell. So these 45 topics we are going to cover in this whole module, and that will take around 2.5 months to complete. Apart from them, if you have any additional topic, you can just let me know, right? So I will try to include it also. Okay.
सर वीडीआई इसमें कवर होगा?
वर्चुअल डिस्क वो तो हमारा जो हम स्टोरेज बनाएंगे उसमें कवर हो जाएगा,
ओके सर।
right? Now, how we are going to perform all these labs, right? So this can be done with the help of VMware, or we can use Hyper-V also. So it totally depends on you on which tool you want to work on. क्योंकि see, if you are going for an interview में they are going to ask whether you have a real time working experience on VMware or Hyper-V, right? दोनों का concept same है, दोनों टूल वर्चुअलाइजेशन यूज कर रहे हैं, right? So it totally depends on which tool you want to work on. I do have option for VMware and then Hyper-V also. See, okay, so Hyper-V is basically Microsoft का खुद का product है, but for VMware you have to get the license. But later on I will let you know how you can activate this product. Okay, and जो भी हमें Windows कॉन्फ़िगर करने के लिए, सर्वर्स कॉन्फ़िगर करने के लिए हमें ISOs चाहिए that are freely available on internet. We can download it and we can configure our own virtual machines, or we can configure our own virtual environment, right? So how to download that ISO image? See guys, I want you by next, like in my next class, I want you guys to download all these ISO tools, all these prerequisites like VMware or Hyper-V. So it should be available with you so that we will be able to perform our labs on time. right? So how you can do that? So just you need to go on your browser and just type download Windows Server. अच्छा ये भी आपकी depend करता है that what kind of operating system you want to work on, either on 2019 or 2016. ठीक है, ये भी इंटरनेट पे अवेलेबल है, that also can be downloaded from the internet. What happened? Just a second. Yeah. See. So from here you can download the ISO image, right? So you have to select this download the ISO. I believe my internet is not working fine today. Yeah. Hmm. So here you have to fill up your information, and after that you will get this download link, right? Same if you want to work on 2019, you can download the 2019 evaluation version of operating system, Windows Server, right? And these information you have to fill out, and after that you have to just click on this download now. Okay, so for
Aditya,
me
we are going to work on 2019 or 2016.
it totally depends on you guys how you want to work on. If you want to work on 2019, we can do it,
Okay. So
right?
this is the latest Windows Server, right?
Latest one is 2022.
2022. Okay.
But now still organizations are using 2016, or some organizations are still using 2012 R2. Okay, so this is how you can download the ISO image for server, and for client also you have to download Windows 10 or Windows 7. That can also be downloaded with the same. So you have to just download as type here download Windows 10 evaluation. See, जो Hyper-V होता है that is not available on your home version of Windows 10. It is only available on the professional or onto the your enterprise version. ठीक है, तो अगर आप ये इवेल्यूएशन करोगे, इवेल्यूएशन में आपको हाइपर वी इंस्टॉल्ड मिलेगा, बट अगर आपकी बेस मशीन में, if in your base machine you do have Windows 10 home version, you will not be able to use Hyper-V. By default, Hyper-V is not available in Windows 10 home version. Okay, but need not to worry, I will provide you a script. You have to run that script onto your Windows 10 home laptop, right? And then you'll get the Hyper-V as well. Okay, so this is how you can download Windows 10. Go to just this link and you have to go with Windows 10 Enterprise ISO. See, here also you have to just fill out these information and you will get the ISO image from Microsoft website itself. Okay, now two things are done. Windows 2016 ISO and then Windows 10 ISO. Okay, and now we will be needing the tool also. Over there we are going to create our virtualization. It can be your Hyper-V or it can be the VMware. Okay, so Hyper-V is basically installed in your Windows 10 itself. If you are using Windows 10 home version, then I'll provide you a script. You will get the Hyper-V, right? And if you want to work on VMware, then you have to download VMware from the internet itself. Pro, this one. So for Windows, you can download this. right? So these three things we will be needing before we'll start our labs. Now, after downloading all these things, or after all the installation, like if you have already installed the VMware or maybe Hyper-V, then how to configure the virtual machines, VMs. So for creating your virtual machine, let's suppose I'm going to work on VMware, right? So I already have two virtual machines configured in my VMware. Okay, but let me show you how to configure it from the scratch. Yeah. So to create a new virtual machine, you need to go to create new virtual machine, and then next. So this is, I'm talking about VMware. Okay, I will install the operating system later, and then type of operating system you want to configure, right? So let's suppose if you want to configure 2016, you can select 2016, and then next. If you want to rename your virtual machine, then you can rename it also. Let's suppose I'm renaming it as server 1. Okay, then next. But firmware type, BIOS or UEFI. For now, we will select UEFI. I will let you know why, what is the reason we are going to select UEFI. I will let you know later on. But for now, just select UEFI. Next, next. Now the type of RAM. तो जितना भी RAM आपके लैपटॉप में होगा, आपके बेस लैपटॉप में होगा, according to that only you will be able to assign RAM to your virtual machine, right? I do have 12 GB of RAM in my laptop, and to run this virtual machine, to run this server, 2 GB RAM is more than enough, right? But if you have 32 GB or more than that, then you can increase the size also if you want, right? But the operations that we are going to perform on this virtual machine, that can be done on with this 2 GB RAM also. So next, this is the network type. This also I will let you know what are these network types, but for now you have to just select use host only networking, then next, then next, NVMe. So this is in case if you are using SSD in your laptop, right? If you have normal drive, then in that case you will not get the option of NVMe. You will get the option for SATA and SCSI, right? So if you have SSD, then NVMe, and then create a new virtual disk. So 20 GB disk is more than enough. Then next, next, and then finish, right? So everything is done. I have assigned the RAM. I have created a new virtual disk, right? But अभी तक मैंने इसको ये नहीं बताया कि इसको installation कहाँ से करना है. ISO image पड़ा कहाँ पर है, right? So I need to select the path where I have the ISO image available. So I'm going to use ISO image file, then browse, and here I do have the ISO version. Okay, so I'm going to select this one and then open and then OK. Right, so now everything is done. So we have to power on this virtual machine, and here's the installation start. Now next, install now. So same way you can configure your virtual machines on the Hyper-V, right? अब यहाँ पर operating system के types है. So one is standard evaluation, one is desktop experience. So standard evaluation is basically command line based. You must have good exposure on PowerShell, then only you will be able to work on this core version of operating system. तो जैसे लिनक्स होता है ना, ब्लैक स्क्रीन होगा एंड देन आपको कमांड्स के साथ काम करना है. सेम वे यू विल गेट द स्क्रीन ऑन योर मॉनिटर और मे बी जहां भी आप उसको यूज कर रहे हो, राइट? एंड डेस्कटॉप एक्सपीरियंस इज बेसिकली ग्राफिकल बेस्ड, जहां पर आपको सब दिख रहा है. जैसे मैं विंडोज एक्सेस कर रहा हूँ, आई कैन सी एवरीथिंग हियर, राइट? बट अगर यही कोर सर्वर होगा, इन केस ऑफ कोर सर्वर आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू सी एनीथिंग. तो जैसे कमांड लिनक्स में काम करता है, सेम कमांड हमें यहाँ पर चलाना होगा, then only we will be able to work on core servers. And don't worry, in the last I will let you know, during our PowerShell topic, I will let you know how to work on core server, or how you will be able to make your core server as a domain controller or as a DNS server, right? In last I will let you know how we can use the core server, but for now we are going to use desktop experience. And then next, yes, I accept the license term. Next, see, upgrade in case you have 2012 server and you want to upgrade it to 2016. आपको upgradation करना है, right? But अगर आपको एक fresh installation करना है, in that case we have to use custom option, right? And then next, and here we go. Right? So now let me explain you about this virtualization, right? See, I do have this base laptop with me, right? Under this base laptop, I have configured VMware or Hyper-V. So let's suppose this is Hyper-V or VMware, right? So under this VMware, I will be able to configure multiple virtual machine. मतलब एक ही हार्डवेयर में I can install multiple virtual machine. So this is actually called the virtualization. तो कंपनीज भी यही करती हैं, राइट? कंपनीज क्या करती हैं, एक अच्छा कॉन्फ़िगरेशन बाय करती हैं, राइट? और उनको जितना रिक्वायरमेंट होता है उतना रिक्वायरमेंट अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट ओनली वो अपनी वर्चुअल मशीन्स को रैम असाइन करते हैं, हार्डवेयर लाइक रिसोर्सेज असाइन करते हैं, सो दैट दे विल बी एबल टू रन दैट वर्चुअल मशीन, राइट? एंड देन दे कैन कॉन्फ़िगर मल्टीपल. क्योंकि देखो, अगर मुझे ये, लेट्स सपोज, सी मैंने अपने लैपटॉप में क्या किया, ये 4 वर्चुअल मशीन्स क्रिएट किया, राइट? एक वर्चुअल मशीन पे मैंने कॉन्फ़िगर किया अपना प्राइमरी डोमेन कंट्रोलर. On to second, I configured WSUS. On to third virtual machines, I configured my WDS. And on to last one, I configured my DHCP server. राइट? तो वर्चुअलाइजेशन मुझे कैसे हेल्प कर रहा है? अगर मैं अगर मुझे पीडीसी बनाना है तो ऑब्वियसली फिर मुझे एक और सर्वर यहाँ पर लेना होगा, एक और हार्डवेयर बाय करना पड़ेगा, राइट? देन सेम, अगर WSUS बनाना है, अगेन मुझे आई नीड टू बाय द हार्डवेयर. WDS बनाना है, अगेन आई हैव टू बाय द हार्डवेयर. सो कॉस्टिंग कितना बड़ा कंपनी का, राइट? एंड एक सर्वर अराउंड 6 to 10 lakhs का अगर हम एक अच्छा कॉन्फ़िगरेशन बाय करते हैं, सो इट कॉस्ट अराउंड 6 to 10 lakhs डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द कॉन्फ़िगरेशन. इट कैन बी 3 lakhs also, right? But if you are buying, if you are going for a good configuration, then it will cost you around 6 to 10. ठीक है? अब इतनी हार्डवेयर है, आपको हार्डवेयर मैनेज भी करना है सब कुछ, क्योंकि अब देखो इतने सर्वर्स आपने सेटअप किया, सो यू विल बी नीडिंग अ data center, you will be needing cooling as well, you will be needing electricity, you will be needing electricity backup, you will be needing internet connectivity, network connectivity. So cost तो कितना बढ़ रहा है, right? But with the help of virtualization, if we have a good configuration available in the hardware, then we can configure multiple virtual machine. तो एक ही हार्डवेयर में हम लोग मल्टीपल वर्चुअल मशीन्स क्रिएट कर सकते हैं और उसके अंदर मल्टीपल फीचर्स अपने इंस्टॉल करके उसे यूज कर सकते हैं. So this is why in organization we used to configure VMware or Hyper-V, so that we need not to buy other hardwares, and that can be done on a single hardware, and we will be able to configure multiple operating system. एक पे आप चाहो तो you can configure Linux also. If you want, Linux can also be configured onto this. There is an option, right? So this is for our labs also, we are going to use this virtualization technology only, so that under a single laptop we can configure our multiple virtual machines, and we can configure our multiple roles and features onto the virtual machines, right? And just to show you, I already have one domain controller with me. So let me power it on. So there is an option of snapshot in VMware. So I will let you know the like how to take the snapshot and what is the reason why we used to take the snapshots. I will let you know. Okay. So मैंने एक domain controller configure किया है with the domain name lab.com. ठीक है, ऐसे ही आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, जैसे लेट्स सपोज इफ यू आर वर्किंग इन TCS, इफ यू आर वर्किंग इन विप्रो, ठीक है, तो आपके यूजर नेम के साथ होता होगा user1@wipro.com और वट एवर जो भी आपका डोमेन नेम है, राइट? सो आई कॉन्फ़िगर्ड lab.com and the lab.com is my domain name, right? Then so this will be the console जहां से हम अपने पूरे फीचर्स और जो भी इंस्टॉल्ड फीचर्स हैं उनको मैनेज करेंगे. ठीक है, सो दिस इज द ऑप्शन add roles and features. Next, next, next. See, so these are the roles that can be installed onto this virtual machine. ठीक है, और एक एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी, एक डोमेन कंट्रोलर बनाने के लिए we will be needing active directory domain services and DNS server installed onto the virtual machine. राइट, तो जो भी मैंने आपको टॉपिक्स बताए दैट वी आर गोइंग टू कवर, ठीक है, वो सारे इंस्टॉलेशन यहाँ से होगा. WSUS, WDS, Windows Deployment Service, right? And then you can see Windows Server Update Services, WSUS, right? So whatever the features we are going to work on, that can be installed by this console, right? So as it is already a domain controller, that is why you are able to see this ADDS and DNS installed. ठीक है, तो you have to go to tools and then Active Directory users and computers. See, you can see lab.com, right? So lab.com is my domain name, right? And the users or computers who are going to join my domain, I will be able to manage under this. Users के अंदर I will be able to create the users, and then computers. So the computers who are going to be the part of my domain, that can be seen here. Guys, this is just an introduction. Whenever we are going to start our classes, I will let you know from very scratch if you are not aware of domain controllers and all these things. So need not to worry, right? So I'm just, अगर कोई recall कर पा रहा है, if you are working in an organization, तो maybe they will be able to relate it. But if you are not able to relate, then no need to worry. Okay, right? So whosoever user is going to be the part of my company. अब एचआर क्या होता है? एचआर ने इंटरव्यू करवाया, देन टेक्निकल राउंड हुआ, राइट? आफ्टर दैट क्या होता है? फाइनल ऑफर लेटर यूजर के लिए जाता है, राइट? तो उसके बाद आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कम्स, राइट? एचआर हमें इंफॉर्मेशन देता है दैट यस दिस यूजर इज गोइंग टू जॉइन आवर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड यू हैव टू क्रिएट हिज यूजर अकाउंट, एंड along with this user account you have to provide a laptop also, and that laptop should be the part of our domain. तभी वो user domain में हमारे laptop में login कर पाएगा. ठीक है, मेजर इश्यूज होते हैं जैसे यूजर्स के पासवर्ड रीसेट करना है, राइट? पॉलिसीज लगानी है. तो हाउ टू क्रिएट द यूजर्स? जस्ट राइट क्लिक ऑन योर ब्लैंक स्क्रीन and go to new and then user, right? So let's suppose user 1 is the new employee and his logo name also user 1. Now see, his fqdn will be fully qualified domain will be user1 @lab.com. अब ये यूजर 1 सिर्फ lab.com के सिस्टम में ही लॉगिन कर पाएगा, राइट? नेक्स्ट, तो फर्स्ट टाइम always whenever we used to create a new account we have to provide a password, right? And later on user can reset it by their own. ठीक है, so let's suppose I'm going to put it as abcd@1234, next and finish. So you can see user 1 account is there, right? So if we want this user 1 will be able to log in, then the system, the computer should be in the lab.com environment, then only this user 1 will be able to log in, right? Real time ऐसे ही होता है. हम जब अकाउंट बनाते हैं then we have to set up his laptop also, then we have to create a laptop, we have to re-image a laptop, and that laptop should be the part of our domain. ठीक है, just to show you, I have one client 10 machine and I'm going to power it on. इतने हम लोग सर्वर की इंस्टॉलेशन देख लेते हैं कहाँ तक पहुंचे हमारे इसकी. ओके, सो दिस इज ऑल्सो इंस्टॉल्ड, राइट? जो हमने स्टार्टिंग में इंस्टॉल किया था सर्वर, सो दैट इज ऑल्सो कॉन्फ़िगर्ड. सो आई कैन जस्ट, आई नीड टू प्रोवाइड द पासवर्ड and then finish. Yeah, so this is done. Okay, so this is basically a fresh machine, a fresh server where I have not configured any kind of feature. ठीक है, ये एक बिल्कुल एक फ्रेश सर्वर है, यहाँ पर कुछ भी इंस्टॉल नहीं है. Okay, but onto the server 16 it is my domain controller जहां पर ADDS services configured है and then DNS server भी configured है, right? In case of SSD, if you are using SSD in your laptop it is not going to take much time, right? But अगर SATA drive use कर रहे हो, so in that case it may take some time during the installation. ठीक है, so this is how virtual machines can be created. Same way you can create the virtual machines for Windows 10 also. ठीक है, विंडोज 10 बनाना है, विंडोज 7 बनाना है, देन और सर्वर सेटअप करना है, सो एवरीथिंग कैन बी डन बाय द सेम वे. So let me shut it down. And let's get back to our topic, which is I have to join this system to my domain, right? This Windows 10 should be the part of my domain. Then only that user will be able to log in. Okay. So first of all, I have to make sure that I should be able to communicate with my domain controller. Communicate in the sense मैं उससे बात कर सकूं. I will be able to ping that IP, right? And my primary domain controller is running on 1.1, right? So I have to make sure through this client I should be able to communicate with 1.1 IP. Okay, so let me check whether the IP is configured to this client machine or not. So we do have shortcuts also for all these things like ncpa.cpl. अगर आपको सर्वर से यूजर्स एंड कंप्यूटर एक्सेस करने हैं then dsa.msc. तो मेरे पास एक शीट है, आई विल हेल्प यू आउट विद दैट शीट जहां पर आपके सर्वर से रिलेटेड सारे शॉर्टकट्स अवेलेबल है. ओके, IPv4. Okay, I am on the same network. ठीक है, and this should be my DNS server. 1.1 is my DNS server, so I have to put the DNS IP also so that I will be able to communicate with the lab.com. ठीक है, then okay, okay, close. ठीक है, now just open your command prompt and try to ping 192.168.1.1. See, I'm getting the response, right? So every time if you have to join the system into the domain, you have to make sure that you should be able to ping your domain controller's IP. अगर मैं इसको ping नहीं कर पाऊंगा, I will not be able to join this system to the domain. And what could be the scenario? Let's suppose मैं इसकी IP range change कर देता हूँ. These IP and all these things I will let you know. ठीक है? Okay, let's suppose मैंने इसका network ID change कर दिया, 2.50 कर दिया, right? So now obviously I will not be able to ping this. See, earlier I was getting response, but now I'm not because I'm not on the same network, right? So I have to make sure that I should be on the same network. अगर मैं अलग network पे हूँ, let's suppose I am on 2.1, so in that case I have to make sure routing should be configured in my environment. अब देखो ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता ना कि सभी सेम सीरीज के नेटवर्क पे काम कर रहा हूँ. अगर मैं 192 सीरीज का नेटवर्क यूज कर रहा हूँ, so under that I can assign only 254 clients. तो एक कंपनी में तो हजारों सिस्टम्स हो सकते हैं, फिर कैसे होगा, राइट? तो देयर कुड बी डिफरेंट रेंज ऑफ नेटवर्क आईडी, बट अगर कोई डिफरेंट रेंज है, इन दैट केस राउटिंग शुड बी कॉन्फ़िगर्ड सो दैट आप दूसरी सीरीज की आईपी से भी बात कर सको. ठीक है, दिस इज ऑल्सो अवर टॉपिक, like later on we do have a topic that how we will be able to configure our local your LAN routing. I will let you know. सर्वर्स को भी आप एज अ राउटर यूज कर सकते हो. ओके, okay, so first of all let me change this IP 1.50. Okay, okay, and now I'm able to ping it. ठीक है, now we have to join this system to domain. So there is a shortcut that is sysdm .cpl, right? Then you have to go to change, then domain. ठीक है, डोमेन में आपको डालना है आपके डोमेन का नाम, दैट इज lab.com and okay. See, now it is asking me for the credentials. So I should provide the administrator rights, और मेरे अकाउंट के पास administrator rights होना चाहिए, then only I will be able to join this system onto the domain. ठीक है, so I'm going to use the domain admin, that is administrator and its password. See, welcome to lab.com domain. Okay, and now it will ask for the restart. So now this system is part of my domain. पहले ये सिस्टम क्या था, वर्क ग्रुप का मेंबर था, मतलब मेरा कोई कंट्रोल नहीं था इस सिस्टम पे. नाउ आई डू हैव कंट्रोल ऑन दिस सिस्टम, राइट? मैंने जो भी पॉलिसी अपनी लगाई होगी, अपनी जो भी सिक्योरिटी पॉलिसीज बनाई होंगी, राइट, ऑल द पॉलिसीज विल बी अप्लाइड टू दिस सिस्टम. सेकेंड, यूजर्स, अब आप यहाँ पे जहां भी एडमिन क्रेडेंशियल्स की जरूरत होगी, नॉर्मल यूजर विल नॉट बी एबल टू मेक एनी काइंड ऑफ चेंजेस. आईपी चेंज नहीं कर पाएगा यूजर, कुछ इंस्टॉलेशन करना है, user will not be able to. Every time he has to come to you, or he has to create a ticket. Maybe आप जीरा यूज करते हो अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, और जो भी टिकटिंग टूल यूज करते हो, so he has to create a ticket for IT team, and that ticket will be assigned to you, and you have to work on that ticket, because normal user will not be able to make any kind of changes onto your domain machines. ठीक है, so now see, control alt delete, other user. See, this system is the member of now lab.com, right? Even if you want to see it on your domain controller, you will be able to find it. Just refresh. See, so ऐसे जितने भी आपके organization के systems होंगे, that will be listed here, right? Now that user one is the part of our domain. Now this user one will be able to log in. See, welcome. So this is the process जब भी एक नए एम्प्लॉय की onboarding होती है. जब भी एक नया एम्प्लॉय आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को ज्वाइन करता है, so you have to follow this process. And how to make these DCs and all, we will talk it about later on. But मेरे पास एक already configured था, so I just want to show you that how our DCs work, how to create the users, or how to log in with the domain account. ठीक है, अब जैसे what ADC's additional domain controller is, let's suppose my primary domain controller is down. See, जितने ये login होता है, सी मैंने अभी यहाँ पर एक प्राइमरी डोमेन कंट्रोलर कॉन्फ़िगर किया पीडीसी, ठीक है, और इस पीडीसी से एक सिस्टम को ज्वाइन कर दिया. दिस इज विंडोज 10 लैपटॉप, राइट? दिस वन इज माय प्राइमरी डोमेन कंट्रोलर पीडीसी, एंड यहाँ पर डोमेन है दैट इज lab.com, राइट? एंड अंडर दिस lab.com I do have one user account, that is user 1. So every time whenever user 1 wants to log in onto this system, right? तो authentication request कहाँ जाएगी? PDC के पास. PDC will authenticate then that yes, user one is the part of lab.com, he can log in. I can fully trust on user one, right? But let's suppose there is some fault in our PDC. PDC will get down, maybe some network issue or some hardware issue. So how these users will be able to authenticate? और या फिर जस्ट टेक एन एग्जांपल कि अगर ये हमारा पीडीसी डाउन है और उसी टाइम कोई एक नया एम्प्लॉय ज्वाइन करता है हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, सो हाउ वी विल बी एबल टू क्रिएट हिज अकाउंट? So this we can do with the help of additional domain controller. We will set up one additional domain controller, ADC.
It's the backup of primary one, right?
Exactly. Backup in the sense whatever the entries PDC has that are going to be replicate onto this uh, additional domain controller, right? And whenever this PDC will get down, users will be able to authenticate with the help of additional domain controller, ADC. तो अगर यहाँ पे मैं जब ADC सेटअप करूंगा, so whatever the entries are under my Active Directory users and computer that are going to be replicate on my ADC as well. अगर 1000 यूजर है, 1000 के 1000 यूजर्स ADC पे रेप्लिकेट कर जाएंगे. और अगर PDC डाउन हुआ, so if in the absence of PDC I created a new account, let's suppose मैंने user 2 बना दिया, right? अब मेरी इससे तो बात हो नहीं रही, so obviously at the same time replicate तो होगा नहीं है. So whenever this system will be up, this user 2 will be replicated onto the PDC also. See, ADC हमेशा passive state में रहता है, that is not in the active state. वो एक्टिव तभी होगा when PDC will get down, नहीं तो वो अपना full मौज लेगा. Right? So this scenario also we will create. We will shut down our PDC and then I'll show you with the help of our ADC, the users will be able to authenticate. And when my PDC will get up again, so whatever the entries are created in the absence of PDC, all the entries will be replicated onto my primary domain controller. So जितने भी हमारे पास features हैं, so for every feature we do have the backup option. ठीक है, जैसे लेट्स सपोज मैं फाइल सर्वर कॉन्फ़िगर कर रहा हूँ, राइट? तो फाइल सर्वर इट मे पॉसिबल कि एक फाइल सर्वर मेरा जो ये सर्वर है डाउन हो जाए, देन हाउ माय यूजर्स विल बी एबल टू यूज माय फाइल सर्विसेज? So for that I will configure failover cluster, right? Same in case of DHCP. Let's suppose this server will get down, जो मेरा primary DHCP है, जो मेरा IPs provide कर रहा है client machines को. So if this PDC, if this primary server will get down in case of DHCP, then how my clients will be able to get the IPs, right? So for that we will have to configure failover, right? So whatever the features we are going to configure, we have to make sure that we should have the backup option of that server, because hardware है, right? कभी भी down हो सकता है. Okay, so see, this user is logged in, user 1 is logged in onto this machine. See, and अगर देखो पहले मैं IP सब कुछ चेंज कर पा रहा था, right? But now I will not be able to perform any kind of changes जहां पर admin rights की requirement है. Okay, let me show you with changing any IP. Properties, and you can see it is asking for the admin user. Even I will not be able to change the wallpaper also. Okay, so this is the systems, this is the process that you have to follow during the onboarding process. ठीक है, and this is the DC that we have configured, and this one is primary domain controller, right? So now how to identify either it is a primary domain controller or ADC, राइट? अब देखो यहाँ पे तो चलो अगर आपने सर्वर्स को नेम किया हुआ है पीडीसी एंड एडीसी, वहां से तो आप उसको आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हो, बट लेट्स सपोज आपने उसको ऐसे नेमिंग नहीं किया, राइट? सो हाउ यू विल बी एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई? टू आइडेंटिफाई we have to use command prompt, or you can use PowerShell also. Okay, and you can just type one command, that is net accounts, and enter. So in this computer role you can see it is primary. अच्छा ये देख रहे हो, मैक्सिमम पासवर्ड एज 42 days, लेंथ ऑफ पासवर्ड हिस्ट्री मेंटेन्ड 24, मिनिमम पासवर्ड लेंथ 7, ये सब कहाँ से आया? So this is all because of that default account policy which we were talking about, right? So एक तो ये तरीका है, through that you will be able to find it out that what kind of domain controller it is, or you can do one more thing, you can just type one more command, that is netdom query fsmo. मैंने बताया था डीसी जब भी कॉन्फ़िगर होगा वहां पर एफएसएमओ रोल्स कॉन्फ़िगर होंगे, राइट? सी जो ये एफएसएमओ रोल्स हैं इन्हीं पे डिपेंड करता है आपका सारा डीसी की फंक्शनिंग जो भी है। आप यूजर क्रिएट कर पा रहे हो, आप यूजर का पासवर्ड चेंज कर पा रहे हो, आपका कंप्यूटर आपकी डोमेन ज्वाइन कर पा रहा है, आप उसको अपने एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी यूजर्स एंड कंप्यूटर्स में देख पा रहे हो, आप अपनी पॉलिसी इंप्लीमेंट कर पा रहे हो, राइट? सो ये जितना भी सब फंक्शनिंग आप कर पा रहे हो अपने सर्वर पे, अपने डोमेन कंट्रोलर पे, दैट आर बीइंग मैनेज्ड बाय दिस एफएसएमओ रोल्स ओनली। ठीक है, तो नेट डोम क्वेरी एफएसएमओ एंड देन एंटर। सी these are the 5 types of FSMO roles, that is schema master, domain naming master, PDC, RID pool manager and infrastructure master। जिस भी सर्वर में ये पांचों रोल्स होंगे, दैट इज द प्राइमरी डोमेन कंट्रोलर, राइट? तो मेरे केस में ये सर्वर 1 पे है, यू कैन चेक with the host name, you can see it is server 1, right? And server 1 has all these FSMO roles, that is because this server is a primary domain controller। ठीक है, जो ग्रुप पॉलिसी आप मैनेज करोगे, जो भी ग्रुप पॉलिसी इंप्लीमेंट करोगे आपके होल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में, यू विल इंप्लीमेंट थ्रू योर प्राइमरी डोमेन कंट्रोलर। ठीक है, सी टूल्स, ग्रुप पॉलिसी मैनेजमेंट एंड दिस डोमेन्स एंड दिस lab.com। अच्छा देखो lab.com में यू कैन सी दिस डिफॉल्ट डोमेन पॉलिसी। तो ये वो पॉलिसी है जो अभी आपके सभी सिस्टम्स पे, आपके सभी डोमेन कंट्रोलर्स में इंप्लीमेंटेड है, राइट? जो वो पासवर्ड लेंथ था, पासवर्ड एक्सपायरी था, so everything is explained in this default domain policy, but we will create our own policy also, and if you want to make any changes in this default domain also, like in your account policy, if you have to make some changes, that also can be done। okay, and if you have to implement your own policy, आप चाहते हो कि जो भी systems आपकी domain join करें, right, वहां पर आपकी कंपनी का वॉलपेपर लग जाए, या फिर कुछ सॉफ्टवेयर्स ऑटोमेटिकली इंस्टॉल हो जाए, right? या फिर you want to just restrict the USB rights, that आपके जो users हैं systems पे USB use ना कर पाए, right? So we do have multiple templates available, so that templates can be configured and that can be deployed to our whole infrastructure, so that we will be able to make our infra secure. Okay, so guys, this is just an introduction, right? Need not to worry about it कि कैसे ये configure हुआ, कैसे user create हुआ, right? I will explain it from the very scratch with the help of PPTs. Okay, this is just a demo session, and if you have any queries, we are open for that. You can just unmute yourself and you can ask.
Thanks, Saitya. Saitya, I just wanted to know that which virtualization tool is mostly used in the organization, like hypervisor or VMware?
Both.
Okay. So
Yeah,
we are going to get hands-on on
both,
VMware.
both the tools.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else, guys? If you want to add on something or if you want to ask something, maybe from tomorrow, I will just let you know from very scratch what are IPs and what are IP series availables, what are the classes of IPs. So, see, if you are not aware of this servers, if you are not aware of, मतलब आपको कुछ भी नहीं आता है, so in that case also you need not to worry about it. Okay?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir, I want to ask this, like मेरे लैपटॉप में 4 GB रैम है only.
Okay.
So should I increase the RAM or I should use SSD?
See, if it is possible, you can upgrade also, but if you don't want to upgrade it, we do have option available in networking itself. You can use networking's labs.
Yes, sir.
Okay, whenever you are going to enroll in this course, you will get the access of the labs, and over there you will be able to configure your server. Let me give
Okay.
you let me give you that, just a second.
No, sir, I know because I'm also मैं अतुल सर से CCNA का बैच भी ले रहा हूँ
Okay,
already.
okay, that's
I'm
great.
already enrolled, so I know what about labs.
Then you can use this labs also.
So,
Okay,
but सर मैं personally लैपटॉप में भी अपग्रेड करना चाह रहा हूँ क्योंकि मुझे थोड़ा Linux भी सीखना है.
then
So
to
I just want to,
yes,
what would I prefer?
you should upgrade
Saying
your RAM, and if you can upgrade your SSD, then your hard drive, then that this is the best option.
both.
हाँ, both. Yes, if you want कि वो system अच्छे से perform करे, right? So you should upgrade both the SSD, your hard drive and the RAM.
Okay.
Yep.
But अगर एक ही करना हो तो सर रैम should I prefer रैम?
हाँ, RAM तो कर ही लो फिर, बिल्कुल.
Okay, so thank you.
Yep. Anything else? Okay, guys. So see you in the next class. So we are going to start our classes maybe from tomorrow, and from the scratch we are going to start it, and I will let you know each and everything step by step. And I do have the interview questions also, and the PDFs version of MCSA whole module. Let me show you that as well. I do have some labs also that you have to perform. Okay, some, let me check. Please, yes. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be the book for MCSA, complete study guide, that includes all the exams 740, 741, and 742. right? Along with this, I will provide you the PowerShell PDF and then the PPTs topic by topic. We are going to configure Google Classroom, okay? And over there you will find all these study material along with interview questions also, right? So tomorrow we are going to create the classroom link and I will share it with you all. And whatever the queries you have, like during your labs or during your practicals, you can post your queries over there, and definitely I'll try to respond it as soon as possible. Okay, so see you guys, see you tomorrow. Good night, take care.
Sahitya, just wanted to confirm that from where we can get the recorded sessions.
That you will get it on the networking portal itself.
Okay, and so
You
for
have to
that we
log
need to
into,
check with our support team.
yeah, support team will help you, or even you have to just log in onto your learn.nwking portal, and over there you will get the videos. Let's suppose
Okay.
today we had a session, right? And
Mhm.
by tomorrow you'll get your video uploaded onto your portals.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So see you guys. Good night. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night, sir.
Good night.